And we are on the final stretch no, ng ating topic for chemical equilibrium. So, to start, we will discuss about buffer solution. So, a buffer solution, guys, is a solution that resists changes in the pH. Yun yung keyword dun. So, resists changes in the pH when you dilute it or when you add small amounts of acid or of either acid or base. So, in practice, buffers are usually acid buffer. Pag acid buffer, weak acid yan plus yung corresponding salt niya. Tapos pag basic buffer naman, weak base yan plus yung corresponding salt niya din. So buffer capacity naman is the measure of the ability, the measure or is the ability of the buffer to resist pH change. So meron dito dalawang big factor na dapat i-consider. Yung ratio, number one, ratio of the base to the acid or ito expression na log base over acid. Then number two is the actual concentrations of acid and salt or the total amount of the buffer. So for example, if I double the total buffer concentration but keep the ratio of the acid and base the same, so yung buffer capacity natin is tataas kasi tumataas yung buffer concentration. No? Dumadami yung reservoir na pwede mag-neutralize ng ating solution. So when it comes to buffer solution, yung number one na equation na gagamitin natin is the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for pH calculation. No? So, paano tayo nagkaroon ng ganitong equation na to? We started in the acid dissociation constant, Ka natin, no? Then, rearranging it para i-isolate yung concentration ng ating H+. Then, taking the negative log for the components, the H+, the Ka, at saka yung ratio ng acid, tsaka acid over base. So, error lang dito. Isang color. Anyway. So, disregard nyo na lang itong part na to. Ganun siya. Then, we all know, negative log ng H plus ay equal to pH. The negative log ng Ka is pKa. Then dito, kaya siya naging plus, ni-reverse natin yung fraction sa loob ng logarithm. So, ano lang siya, yung identity ng logarithm. So, ang ending natin is pH is equal to pKa plus log ng base over acid. So, yun yung typical equation na kailangan. So, alam natin na kapag ang ratio ng base at acid ay equal, so, mawala itong portion na ito. Tapos, pH is equal to pKa. Okay? Then, for the example, sabihin ko muna ito. So, for the example natin dito, no, prepare 100 ml of buffer solution. Target pH ay 4.5 from 0.2 molar stock solution of the acid or salt, no? So, binigay na dito sa problem yung acid na gagamitin natin, which is ito, acetic acid. Tapos, ang corresponding salt niya ay sodium acetate. pKa niya is 4.74. So, malapit siya dun sa target pH natin na 4.5. So, tandaan nyo, magpe-prepare tayo ng buffer na may pH na 4.5. So, ito daw yung tutulong sa atin para yung overall solution natin ay mag-resist sa pH change. No? So, yun. Kumit natin yung Henderson-Hasselbalch equation dito sa part na to. So, just replace yung target pH dito. Tapos, pKa natin. Then, log base over acid. No? So, para lang bigyan kayo ng long method na itong part na no. So, dito sa part na to. So, 4.50 minus 4.74, nilipat sa kabila, is equal to log base over acid, no? Base over acid. So, kasi pagdating dito, naging acid over base siya. So, tingnan na natin siya isa-isa. Then, supposed to be ito ay negative 0.25 24 is equal to log base acid, no? And then, so anong sabi natin? So pag nag-multiply tayo ng negative, so mare-reverse yung, halimbawa, may-multiply ko to sa negative 1. Both sides by negative 1. May-multiply by negative 1. So magiging positive na to, part na to, at magre-reverse yung fraction sa loob ng logarithm. Okay? So kaya siya naging ganyan. Then kapag kinuha na natin yung, pag tinanggal natin yung log, so ito na yung magiging ratio ng acid over base, no? So baka naman ito biglang nagbago-bago yung fraction. So yan siya. Then, para lang malinawan ulit. So basic math lang to. No? So etong part na to, dito sa part na to, para matanggal yung log, di ba? Gagawin natin 10 raised to 0.24. Okay? So ito na yan, pag inan nyo sa calculator. Then you let V be the volume of acid na kailangan natin. So, susukatin na natin yung actual volume na acid na kailangan natin. So, ang total solution natin ng buffer solution natin ay 100 ml. So, we let 100 minus V be the volume of the salt in ml. No? Then, getting the concentration of acid na kailangan natin, or concentration of acid na kailangan natin, we have this part. So, 0.20, yun yung concentration natin, times V, which is yung volume ng acid na kailangan natin, over yung total buffer solution, no? Then, for the base, ganun din naman yan, 0.20, times yung dineclare natin na variable na, which is 100 minus yung volume ng acid, itong part na to, okay? And then, divided by total solution din, buffer solution. So, ano yun? So, getting the ratio nung dalawang yan, so parang ganito lang yan. Actually, nilagay na dito, no? Kulang-kulang lang yung cancel. So, pag sinulat ko ulit siyang ganyan, V over 100. So, multiply na. Kasi pag kinuha natin yung ratio niyan, ito, acid over base. So, parang minumultiply kayo reverse. So, 100 over 0.20. 100 minus V. Okay? So, pag nag-cancel tayo, actually, cancel yung 0.20. Cancel din yung 100, no? So, ito, part na ito, 100. So, basically, yung natira ay V over 100 minus V equals 1.74. So, kapag inalong method lang natin, V is equal to 1.74 times 100 minus V. So, kung sige, ituloy lang natin. 1.74 times 100 is 174 minus 1.74 V. Then, lipat lang natin sa kabila yung 1.74. So, magiging 1.74 V plus V is equal to 174. Magiging 2.74 V, 174. So, ang ending nyo dyan dapat, ang VI equals to ito, 63.27, no? Tapos, yun yung volume ng acid. Since we let V, di ba, tandaan nyo, we let V, volume of the acid. So, V is equal to 63.27, which is ito yun. Then, 100 minus V yung volume ng salt, which is yung sodium acetate natin. Which is 100 minus 63.27 equals 36.73. So, ganyan siya yung approach, no? Ibig sabihin, kailangan natin mag-mix ng 63.27 ml ng 0.2 molar acetic acid plus 0.2 molar sodium acetate. No, ito yung corresponding volume, no? 36.72. Mimix natin silang dalawa, makaka-produce tayo ng buffer solution na may pH 4.5. Okay. Okay, ito naman. Find the pH of a solution preferred by dissolving 12.43 grams of trees. So, typical ano yan, buffer, um, laboratory buffer talaga yan, trees. Tapos, ito yung ano niya, molecular weight. Ito, plus 4.67 trees HCl. So, yung corresponding niya, conjugate acid corresponding pala. Conjugate acid niya na may um, molar mass na yan. So, mix daw natin yan. Dissolving ito, tsaka to in 1 liter of water. So, ang pKa nito ay 8.08. Okay? So, dito nakalagay na sa baba, yung ibig sabihin ng trees. So, 3-hydroxymethyl amino methane plus 3-HCl, yung acid. So, unang gagawin is convert natin yung acid tsaka base into moles. So, we have 12.43 grams nung sa base, no? Tapos yung molar mass niya. So, cancel lang yung grams. So, kung yung iba sa inyo dun sa exam, parang medyo lito pa sa part na to, no? So, dapat at this stage, alam niyo na paano kunin yung moles ng isang bagay kapag given yung kanyang weight, no? So, 3 Then, itong sa acid, 4.67 grams. Multiply nyo lang yung sa molar mass. Cancel yung grams. So, ito ay 0.0296 mol 3 HCl. So, since may mol na tayo, may mga moles na tayo, kunin lang natin. Makuha na natin yung pH using the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation ulit, no? So, just replace. So, hanahanap natin pH. So, may pKa tayo kanina, 8.08 plus log of base over acid. Base over acid, no? So, dapat makuha nyo sa calculator ay 8.61. Okay, next. So, ito yung mga sample problems natin. So, now we test yung buffer action, no? Sabi dyan, no? If we add 12 ml of 1 molar hydrochloric acid to the solution used in the previous example. So, ito yun. So, tandaan nyo, no? Yung nabuo natin 1 liter solution ay may pH na 8.61 daw. So, testing na ngayon natin yung buffer, no? Kung anong effect niya. Kapag daw nag-add tayo ng 12 ml ng acid, no? So, typically, dapat bababa yung pH kasi acid yung nilalagdag natin. Pero ang sa atin malaman is ano yung bagong pH, no? So, start tayo dun sa initial moles ng ating ito, yung base. So, ito yung sa base natin kanina, no? So, mag-a-add daw tayo ng 12 ml ng 1 molar HCl. So, convert lang ng liters yung 12 ml. So, explain ko lang isa-isa yan. Tapos yung molarity ng HCl to get yung moles ng ating new acid na dinadagdag, no? Additional. Okay? So, kapag nag-ice table tayo, so ito ulit yung ating equation, no? Taas. Then, yung initial condition natin, we have 0.1026 moles ng ating base. Tapos, meron tayo 0.0120 moles ng ating acid na dinadagdag. Then, yung final na moles natin yung sa ating product ay 0.0296. So, ang inaano natin na change is nagdadagdag tayo ng acid. Ibig sabihin, na-consume yung ating acid. So, ang change na nangyayari is nagkakaroon ng isusubtract yung moles ng acid. No? Tapos, madadagdag siya doon sa ating product. Okay? Then, pag kinumpit nyo yan, dapat ito yan. Then, 0 na kasi nga, inad na natin siya dito. So, wala na siya. And dito na madadagdag siya. Okay? So, ganun yung ulit. So, Henderson-Hasselbalch ulit. So, pH, 8.08. Tapos, ito na yung bagong ano natin. Ratio, no? Nagagandin. So, ang ating base na ngayon ay 0.0906 moles ng base over 0.0416 acid. So, dapat ang makuha nyo dito ay 8.41. So, makita nyo, no? yung effect ng buffer. From 8.61 naging 8.41. Panading yung base natin. So, hindi ganun ka-drastic, no? Considering 1 molar, no? Mataas yung concentration yan. So, considering naka-apply tayo ng buffer solution, ibig sabihin, effective siya, no? Hindi ganun ka-drastic yung change sa pH. So, now we shift to key analytical tool. Ito, charge balance. So, charge balance is about electron neutrality ng overall solution natin. So, ibig sabihin ng charge balance is the total positive charge dapat equal siya sa total negative charge. Kasi yung electron neutrality supposed to be equal yung summation ng positive charges tsaka summation ng negative charges. So, yung expression niya is ito in coefficient form, no? So, dito, makikita niyo dyan. So, yung N tsaka M, ayan, sige, sige natin. Yung C, concentration ng ating mga cation. So, alam niyo na dapat mga cation, guys. So, yung positive. So, A, concentration ng ating anion. So, yung N tsaka M, ito yung mga magnitude ng mga charge nila, no? So, kaya siya nakatambal dyan, kada species. So, ganyan magsulat ng charge balance equation. So, tinatanong naman yan, charge balance equation. So, example, we dissolve K3PO4 in water daw. So, to guide you dito sa charge balance equation. So, isulat lang natin lahat ng involved na equations, no? So, sa ating equilibrium. Involved equilibrium equations natin. So, we have dissociation of K3PO4 into K plus tsaka PO4 3 minus. Then, we have yung PO4 minus nagre-react sa water. So, we have that, protonation niya. Then, yung product niya, HPO4 2 minus, magre-react din yun sa water, producing H2PO4 minus. Okay? Yung part na to. So, tandaan nyo, itong mga product na to, nagre-react yun sa water pa din. So, may kakaiba siya na equilibrium equation. So, we have final yung auto-ionization ng water. So, alam nyo na ulit yan. Then, if we check, paano natin siya i-highlight ko ng green siguro, yung mga charges, no? So, we have here, for potassium, we have +1, and we have +1 sa ating hydronium ion, or H plus natin. So, total positive charge, ito. Then we have, siguro po yung blue for the negative charges. So we have here, una, PO4 minus, PO4 3 minus, HPO4 2 minus, H2PO4 1 minus. So we have here species ng mga OH. Yan. So hinighlight ko lang, although tatlo sila, as one pa din naman sila dyan. One lang. So the total negative charge, ito mga to. So makikita nyo, no? Yung magnitude ng kanilang charge ay naka-indicate as coefficient. Okay? So, yung 1, hindi na natin sinusulat. Technically, may 1 yan dito. Tsaka dito. Dito. Tsaka dito. Pero hindi natin sinusulat. Okay? Understood na yun. So, mahalaga yung sa 2 tsaka sa 3. Sinusulat yung magnitude. So, overall, yun nga. Recall natin, summation ng positive charge is equal to summation ng negative charge. Yung overall charge balance equation natin or expression. So, when we write that, so, ganun lang. Kukombine nyo lang yung dalawa. K plus H plus equals tong part na to, guys. So, hindi talaga naman yung color. Okay. So, ito, equals yan. So, dalawang ganun lang yan. Equals OH, H2PO4 minus 2 times HPO4 2 minus 3 times PO4 3 minus. Okay? So, net charge ng solution ay 0 dapat. Okay. So, ganyan. So, we have to go sa... Yung isa pa is yung mass balance. So, mass balance naman is conservation ng mga component doon sa ating equilibrium equation. No? It says that the total analytical concentration delivered is equal to the sum of the components in all its forms. No? So, yun lang yung gusto sabihin dito sa portion na to. So, quantity of all species in the solution containing a particular atom. So, hindi ko na highlight itong nakakalito na part. Mass equal to the amount of that atom delivered doon sa ating solution. So, later on may example naman para makita niyo yung difference ng charge balance at mass balance equations natin or expression. So, dito, write the charge balance and mass balance equations for 0.1 molar acetic acid. So, ito yung mga involved. Actually, inad ko na lang yung water, ionization ng water, no? Dito sa, yan, inad ko na lang kasi hindi siya nakasulat. Baka mamaya kasi malito kayo. Bakit? Nagkaroon ng OH minus sa dulo. So, yan. Acetic acid dissociates into ito daw. Then, auto-ionization of water or auto-dissociation of water. So, ang ating charge balance equation dyan, so, sulat lang ulit natin yung mga positive. So, alam natin yung H3O plus or H plus. So, tatanggapin ko naman kung H plus nakalagay dito. So, ito yung H plus. Tapos, negative. Yung mga negative natin is acetate tsaka yung OH natin. So, acetate tsaka OH. So, ito yung overall charge balance equation. So, para naman sa mass balance equation, so, dapat daw, no, yung overall amount, parang na-conserve siya, no, dun sa overall solution natin. So, ito lang naman siya, madali lang naman siya. So, yung concentration ng ating acetic acid, since alam natin na nag-dissociate siya into acetate, so alam natin na yung concentration ng acetic acid tsaka yung dito, acetate or kung yung product mo, ano yung product niya pag nag-dissociate siya is equal to the overall concentration. So, mass balance equation ay ito na yun actually. Yep, ito na yung mass balance equation natin. So, para lang i-highlight dito, no? Hydrogen ions in the solution comes from two sources daw. So, kailangan nating malaman yung mga sources ng hydronium ion natin, which is coming from the water, no? Water dissociation, tsaka dun sa ating acetic acid, no? Nagpo-produce siya ng H+. Since concentration ng ating hydronium ion coming from the acetic tsaka hydronium ion coming from the water ay equivalent sa kanilang conjugate bases. Yan. Yung dalawang to. So, we can tell na yung concentration daw ng ating H plus ay equal to the combined concentration ng conjugate bases ng ating product. So, mapapansin nyo, pares siya dun sa ating charge balance equation, no? So, to further work on this, so ito pa yung isang example naman. So, we mix 0.0250 mol PH2PO4 plus, sinasabi ko, nakalimutan ko ulit, plus 0.03 moles KOH and diluting daw to 1 liter. So, para hindi na sinulat dito yung mga yung ito guys. So, ito dapat, sanayin yung isulat to. So, kasi sa mga example, di na siya sinulat. So, baka magnaka kayo, sagot na agad yung ganito. So, basically, yun pa rin yun. So, KH2PO4, tsaka KOH, no? So, ito yung charge balance equation natin. So, we have, syempre, hydronium ion natin plus potassium. Yun yung mga positively charged natin dyan. Then, so negatively charged, we have H2PO4 reacted to water, HPO4 2 minus, and PO4 3 minus plus, KOH then coming from the KOH, no? So, we have multiple mass balance equations here. So, we know na ito yung mga moles ng ating components, no? So, when we combine those, we can say na yung total concentration or moles ng potassium natin is 0.025 plus 0.03, which is ito. So, ito yung mass balance for total potassium, no? Then, para naman sa mass balance equation for the phosphate, so, kailangan lang natin alamin ano yung mga sources ng phosphate, no? So, we have here H2PO4. We have here H2PO4 minus. HPO4 2 minus at saka PO4 3 minus. Equivalent to 0.0250. Since ito lang naman yung may phosphate, no? Ito, wala naman dito phosphate. So, hindi siya sinama dun sa mass or sa moles, no? So, ito yung overall mass balance equation for phosphates. Tapos ito for potassium. So, dalawa, no? Dalawa yun. So, marami pa tayong example. So, ito naman pang multiple equilibrium system. So, halo-halo na. Write the charge balance and mass balance equation for 0.1 molar solution of HCl that is in equilibrium with excess calcium sulfate. Excess solid calcium sulfate. So, ito halo-halo na kasi may dito. Solid na, no? So, for the charge balance equation naman, so ganun pa rin naman yan. Ihimayin nyo lang to isa-isa. Actually, nandito naman yung ating equilibria. Ayan. So, naka-highlight na dito, no? Yung iba, no? So, you have that. So, pagdating sa charge balance equation, so, dahil doon yung ion, we have the calcium 2+, okay? So, so negatively charged natin, we have the SO4, SO4 2 minus, ito yun. Then, we have OH, and we have chlorine. Hindi na sinama yung chlorine dito sa equilibria, no? Pero dapat masama siya kasi since yun yung solution natin kanina na binanggit. 0.1 molar solution of HCl. Okay? So, this is for the charge balance equation. So, for the mass balance, we have 3. Okay? For the source of calcium, so ito lang naman yun. So, calcium is equal to since nasa equilibria sila, no? Sulfate plus yung HSO4 natin. Okay? Then, for the source of chlorine, we have ito. So, ganyan yan. 0.1 molars from the strong acid natin na HCl, no? Then, for the hydronium ion or H plus natin, so madaming sources yan. So, we have hydronium ion from HCl at dissociation of water. So, we can say na ang isang source ay galing sa concentration ng HCl natin plus OH. Since sa auto-ionization ng water ay H plus is equal to the concentration of OH minus. Okay? Then we have from HSO4 minus. So we can say na yung isa ay nagagaling sa reaction ng HSO4 sa H plus natin. Then if we combine these two, so ito na yung isa pa sa ating mass balance equation. So we have concentration ng HCl plus OH is equal to H3O plus tsaka HSO4 minus 4 minus. Okay? So, siyempre, ilalagay natin yung value ng concentration ng ating acid just like here, no? So, ito yung so we have 3 mass balance equations. Okay? Next. So, saturated, write the charge balance and mass balance equation for a saturated solution ng lanthanum iodate. Okay? Lanthanum 3 iodate. So, for the charge balance equation, we have yun pa din. Hindi nawawala yung dalawang ito. Then we have lanthanum 3 plus, may coefficient 3. Tapos, iodate sa negative. So, ito yung positive, dito yung negative. Okay? So, sa mass balance equation naman, so we have here, no? Ito yung dissociation. No. Lanthanum iodate. So, ganyan siya. Then, when we set the concentration of iodate to 3x, we are saying na yung concentration ng iodate is equal to 3 times concentration ng lanthanum. 3 plus. So, ito yung mass balance equation. Yun, clarifying lang, no? Pagdating dito. So, feel ko hindi siya natapat ng maayos. So, ito yung x, tapos ito yung 3x. Okay? Ibig sabihin daw, parang binabalance lang natin siya. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinet natin na 3x yung iodate, ibig sabihin, 3 times siya ng concentration ng natrium 3 plus. Kaya ito yung naging mass balance equation. Okay. So, marami pa. So, given naman natin dito is, ano yan? Solution of, so, charge balance, mass balance na solution of 0.25 molar lithium fluoride and saturated with calcium fluoride. So, para sa ating charge balance, so, lahat lang ng positive dito, then negatives dito. So, lithium, calcium, tsaka hydronium natin, tapos OH sa kabila, OH minus siya fluoride. Then mass balance, we have concentration ng lithium, it's given naman. And pagdating sa fluorine, we can say na concentration ng fluorine plus concentration ng hydrofluoric acid. Since nasa water kasi, di ba? So, magre-react siya sa water. Mapoprotonate pa din yung fluorine minus natin. Equals sa concentration ng lithium plus 2 times concentration ng calcium ion natin. Okay? Okay. So, itong next part natin, combination na siya ng iba't ibang concept na natutunan natin so far. So, systematic treatment of equilibrium. So, mastery to ng strategy for multiple equilibria problem. So, we need as many independent equations as doon sa unknown natin. Depende sa given, no? Para dito sa multiple equilibrium problem. So, independent equations, kailangan natin yun para sa unknown. Then, kailangan natin alam natin yung mga equation type. Like, anong equilibrium constant, expression, Ka, Kb, KSP, Kf, or Kw, etc. Tapos, anong dapat natin yung mass balance equation. Then, charge balance equation din. So, combination nito. So, dapat ang main checkpoint natin dito is ilista natin yung mga species dun sa equilibria, kung ano yung present dun, components. Tapos, bilangan natin ilan yung unknown, ano yung mga unknown. Tapos, sulat natin yung mga corresponding equations, no? Sa bawat expression. Until, dapat, ito yung nakabak, no? So, sulat natin lahat ng mga kailangan until yung equations ay equal sa unknown natin. Then, tsaka natin isa-solve. So, ano kung pinagsasasabi ko? So, simple example muna natin. Calculate the pH of 1 times 10 to the negative 8 formal KOH. So, we have 3 unknowns here. Wala tayong concentration ng H+, concentration ng OH, tapos concentration din ng potassium. So, kung tatlo yung unknown natin, so kailangan natin ng tatlo equation, no? So, una natin charge balance equation. So, yan. We have here yung positive species natin. This is yung potassium, H+ natin, tapos ito yung negative species natin. So, sa mass balance equation, we have ito, concentration ng K+, which is 1 times 10 to the negative 8. Okay. Then, equilibrium expression from the auto-ionization of water. We have Kw equal to concentration ng H+ times concentration ng OH minus. Then, so may tatlo na tayong equation for the corresponding unknowns natin. So, we let H+ as X. So, from equation 1, so, tandaan natin yung mga label ka. Yan. So, mamaya kasi mas complicated pa yung makikita natin dito. So, yung labeling ng mga equation, mahalaga yan. So, from equation 1 daw, so, if we let H+ is equal to X, so we have OH is equal to K++ concentration ng H+, no? Is equal to, ano yung concentration ng K natin? So, ano to? Ito yan. Yung part na yan. Ayan. Tapos, we have here concentration ng H+, which is yung X. Okay? So, makamalito kayo dito sa X, tapos may X pa dito. So, tandaan nyo yung given, no? 1 times 10 to the -8. So we have this, no? So concentration of OH is equal to 1 times 10 to the -8 plus X. So using naman daw using the expression for OH in KW, so KW, so equation 3. So in equation 3 to, no? So replace lang natin. So X, which is ito yun, no? Itong part na yun. Then 1 times 10 to the -8 plus X, which is yung kanina natin determine, is equal to in KW, no? 1 times 10 to the -14. Then, distribute mo yung X dito. So, we have here 1 times 10 to the -8, X. So, distribute lang natin, no? Distribute lang natin X. Tapos, plus X squared is equal to, nilipat na yung 1 times 10 to the -14 sa kabila. Kaya, minus 1 times 10 to the -14. So, kung mapapansin niyo yung form, we have here ito. We have here ito. Tapos we have here ito. So, quadratic equation siya, no? So, we have here A, B, tsaka C. Tapos C, no? So, quadratic equation natin is ito. Sundan nyo lang ito. So, I hope familiar na kayo sa quadratic equation, no? So, X is equal to negative B, which is ito nga yung B natin. 1 times 10 to the -8 plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC. No? So, yan, over 2A. Yun, over 2A. Tapos, so, i-plug in nyo lang sa calculator nyo. Then, you will get X is equal to, kunin nyo yung positive root, 9.6 times 10 to the -8. Since X is the concentration ng ating H+, kunin nyo lang yung negative log niya to get the pH. Huh? So, dapat ang makuha nyo is 7.02. So, slightly basic solution siya. So, expected natin yun sa KOH natin, no? Or potassium hydroxide. Okay? Hopefully na siya, no? So, kinuha natin yung so may tatlong unknown tayo. Nirelate natin sa mass balance, sa charge balance, saka sa ating equilibrium expression na KW, since yun yung kailangan natin this time. Then, we just do some algebraic expression, substitution, as quadratic equation. Then, we compute for the pH as normal, no? So, yan. So, next problem natin, calculate the solubility naman of iron 3 hydroxide in water. So, ito medyo mahaba siya, no, na problem. So, pertinent equilibrium natin dito is, yun nga, KSP natin. Which is ito. So, dissociation ng ating salt. Ito iron 3 plus OH minus. Then, may corresponding KSP. And nilagay na din dyan yung representation mo kung paano siya i-represent. Then, you have ionization of water. No? Then, with the KW. Then, so for mass balance, charge balance natin. So, ito siya. So, actually, mass balance to. Pinakita dito. Actually, tsaka charge balance, yung same naman siya. So, we have here, ito, ating mass balance and charge balance. And ang hinahanap natin is solubility ng iron hydroxide natin, which is represented by S, which is equal sa concentration ng iron. Then we have to make approximation or assumption. So, assume natin na yung concentration ng ating hydronium ion is very small so that it is less than 3 times the concentration of the ion, making yung OH concentration ng ating hydroxide ay equal to 3 times ng ating iron 3+. Then, if you substitute daw sa ating equilibrium expression, KSP, ito, substitute lang natin yung mga given parameters natin. We have the KSP, ito. Then we have here, ito pa din naman. Same pa din. Tapos, since in-assume natin to, so isa-substitute na natin siya dito. So, we have 3 times concentration ng iron cube, since may cube pa dun sa ating KSP expression. Then, kapag kinumbine nyo yan, magiging Fe 3 plus to the 4th, no? Tapos 3. Fine. Then, if we isolate, no, yung, suot ko naman ito. If we isolate yung iron 3 plus, so 4th root ang kukunin, 4th root of 2 times 10 to the negative 39. Mali pala ako dito. Dapat 3 times 3 times 3. So, ito ay 27. 27 kasi 3, tapos cube mo pa siya. 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 27. Kaya tayo may 27 dito. Then, para makuha yung concentration ng iron 3 plus, so plug in nyo lang sa calculator nyo, makuha yung 9.3 times 10 to the negative 11. So, yun siya. So, we have here continuation, no? Kasi di pa tayo tapos. Concentration parang ito ng iron 3 plus natin. Then, we check the assumption natin kung tama. So, provisional value of OH. Tapos, we have here provisional value ng hydrogen ion natin. So, ang una natin in-assume ay ang H3O plus daw ay very small. Kaya yung concentration ng OH is equivalent to 3 times concentration ng iron 3 plus. So, check natin siya kung tama, no? So, F ito yung kanina. So, if we substitute yung nakuha natin, so, ginawa na lang 9, pero 9.3 dapat yan. Ito, 9.3 times to the negative 11. Then, we will get itong concentration ng OH. So, for the provisional value ng hydronium ion, we will use the KW expression ulit. So, i-isolate natin si H3O plus doon is equal to 1 times 10 to the negative 14 divided by ito. So, sinasubstitute natin yung assumption. So, makakukuha natin ito, no? So, check natin kung tama yung assumption natin, no? Na ito. Kung tama itong assumption natin. So, ito pala yun. Ito yung assumption natin, no? So, we know that 3 times 10 to the negative 5 is greater than 2.7 times 10 to the negative 10. So, hindi okay yung assumption natin. So, we have to reverse, no, yung assumption natin. So, iba natin. So, new approximation assume that yung 3 times concentration ng iron 3 plus is very small, so that ganyan na siya, pabalik na. No? Hindi na yung pabalik kanina. Hindi na yung kanina ganyan. So, ito. So, ang final na i-adapt natin ay OH ay equal sa concentration ng H plus. So, substitution ulit sa ating equilibrium expression. We have here the concentration of H plus, which is coming from the KSP ulit. So, we have here ito, no? Saan galing to? 1.7 times 10 to the 1 times 10 to the negative 7. So, yun nga. Ito ang galing to sa ating KW expression, no? Since yung concentration ng ating OH, diba, ganyan siya. So, H plus is equal to KW. So, yung half nun, yung 1 times 10 to the negative 14, yung half nun is yung ating H3O plus, okay? So, yung 1 times 10 to the negative 7. So, substituting ulit sa ating KSP expression. So, 2.39, yan ulit yung KSP. We have the iron, yun yung isolate natin. Times 1 times 10 to the negative 7 cube. So, we will get dapat ito. So, compared mo sa kuha natin kanina to the negative 11. Ito to the negative 18. No? And we have to check ulit yung assumption natin. No? So, in-assume na natin yung pabalik na sign. So, H3O plus is way greater than 3 times concentration of iron. 3 plus. So, if check this, tapos ito, yung value nito, you will see na mas malaki pa rin si 1 times 10 to the negative 7. So, assumption is valid. So, ang final answer natin is ito. Ito yung solubility ng iron. Iron 3 hydroxide natin sa water. Okay, so we have to check yung assumption kung tama. Kasi dito nag-assume tayo para magkaroon tayo ng expression na isa-substitute natin sa final one. Okay? So, ito mas complicated na problems pa. So, we have here zinc oxalate naman. Calculate down the solubility of zinc oxalate in a solution held at pH 3, acidic solution. Okay. So, lista natin yung mga unknown natin dito. No? So, we do not have concentration of zinc plus oxalate. Tsaka yung mga counterpart nyo, pati acid, oxalic acid. Then, OH tsaka H plus natin. Okay? So, ano yung mga pwede natin makuha dito na equilibrium expression? So, we have yung solubility expression. So, siguro try ko i-label na bicolor to, no? Tingnan natin kung matrack natin. So, we have here reaction ng oxalate natin with water, tapos yung counterpart niya, yung red ko na lang, KB1, na may corresponding KBs, KB1, KB2. And then yung sa waterization ng water. Okay? So, if pH is fixed to a certain value, which is 3, in the presence of buffer, charge balance is not applicable daw. So, tandaan natin to. If pH is fixed, charge balance is not applicable. So, medyo nabawasan tayo. Pero ang dami pa din. So, mass balance na lang. So, sa mass balance, check natin yung mga species natin, no? Kung paano natin siya i-balance. So, mass balance, we have here concentration ng zinc 2 plus is equivalent to yung mga species ng ating sa oxalic acid, no? So, sa oxalate, bioxalate, tsaka oxalic acid. So, ito, equation 1 natin ito. So, ano lang siya dito, no? So, yung equation 1. So, equation 2, so, kailangan nyo lang i-focus muna sa mga na-highlight ko, no? Equation 2, we have itong KSV. Okay. Equation 3, yung KB1. So, nadaanan naman na natin to. No? So, KB1, equation 3. Equation 3 for KB1. Equation 4 for KB2. Ito. Okay. Then, equation 5 for the atomization ng water. And for the pH, we have pH 3. So, alam natin na yung concentration ng H plus ay 1 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay? So, highlight ko na lang din siya ng yellow na lang. Okay? So, I have 6. No? Ang dami. Since meron tayong 6 na unknowns, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No? Then we have 6 equations to work on or reactions to work on. Medyo madami na nakasulat. So, if ang concentration daw ng H plus ay 1 times 10 to the negative 3, then gamitin ulit natin KW expression to get the concentration of OH, which is 1 times 10 to the negative 11. Tapos, substitute daw natin siya sa equation number 3 dito. Okay? So, KB1. So, tingnan tayo yung KB1 muna. So, in blue. Ay, shucks, sorry. KB1. So, ito yung KB1, di ba? Yan. So, we have to substitute daw yung 1 times 10 to the negative 11 for that. So, to isolate muna yung so, una natin kukunin dito is ito muna, species na to. Okay? So, rearrange nyo lang to get ito. Rearrange nyo lang to. So, lagyan ko lang ng ganyan. Rearrange nyo to get ito. Then, bakit 18 yung nakalagay? Ano, medyo sinortcut tong part natin. Sige, try natin ulit. I-expand. So, we have here KB1. Anong value ng KB1? 1 times 10 to the 1.8 times 10 to the negative 10. So, we have here C204. 2 minus over 1 times 10 to the negative 11. So, I suppose, ito yung part na yan. Kaya tayo may 18 bigla dito. So, we have now this one, no? Yan, sabi dito, substitute to equation 4 in red, no? So, tingin tayo sa red. Equation 4 is KB2 naman. So, ito na siya, KB2. Okay. Kailangan matrabaho lang siya, no, guys? Pero, yun. Kailangan nyo na pagtugtog-tugtong yung mga equations natin. So, we have that. Tapos, nire-arrange to get this one. And then, we have the value of KB2. Okay. So, we have here, paano ko ba siya ilalagay? Wait lang. So, medyo ano siya, no? Iba kasi yung pagkakalagay dito. Sige, wait lang. Baka kailangan ko na lang burahin. Kailangan natin siyang burahin. So, burahin ko na lang ng white. Kaya pag umano ng color. Wait lang. Okay. So, ayos lang siya lumabas ng puti. So, burahin natin tong part na to. No? Nakakalito siya eh. So, tayo na lang yung maglagay ng next step natin. So, next step natin dito, so, we have to be careful dito sa part na. So, H2C2O4 is equal to KB2. Ano yung KB2 natin? 1.8 times 10 to the negative 13. So, we know that itong expression na to, ito siya, diba? Ito. So, ando ko lang nga ulit. Ando ko lang muna. So, we have to replace this with 18. Concentration ng C2O4. 2 minus. Over OH ulit, which is, ito na, meron tayong ganito. So, 1 times 10 to the negative 11. So, pag pinagsama-sama natin yung mga numerics natin din, since ito yung kanina, kung bakit siya naging 18, no? Itong value na to. Ito. Kung bakit naging 18, ito yan. Chinek ko na sa calculator kanina. Yan. So, ito naman, pag kinumbine natin yan, tsaka to, so, multiply tsaka divide, dapat ito yung makukuha natin na expression. So, in red muna. Okay? So, kailangan natin i-verify itong 0.324, no? Sa calculator. So, yun. I-verify ko na yung 0.324. So, tama naman siya. 0.324 siya. So, we have to substitute daw sa equation 1. Hindi pala tayo nag-assign ng color sa equation 1 natin. So, yung color natin. Orange na. So, ito yung equation 1 natin, no? So, ito naman sa equation 1. So, substituting dyan sa equation 1. Given naman dito sa baba. Ito yung equation 1. So, ang dami na meron na tayong mga values. So, kaya siya naging 19.324. Ano yung mga meron tayo na value? Kanina. So, we have ito, no? Tsaka ito, kanina. So, kailangan lang natin siyang combine. So, to expand at para maintindihan nyo din. So, equals ko lang dito, no? So, C2O4, 2 minus, plus HC2O4, which is itong 18, C2O4, 2 minus. So, lahat, in-express into C2O4, no? Tapos ito, ay ito, ay 0.324. C2O4, 2 minus. Okay. So, yan siya. So, ang resulting equation mo ay ito. may 19. Zinc 2 plus is equal to 19.324 times concentration of C2O4. Okay, arranging, and so arranging yun siya. Then we can use yung ating KSP in green. Okay. Ito na siya. To get the value ng um, to express everything in zinc. No? Kasi zinc 2 plus yung kailangan natin. So, since ito daw ay equivalent sa, wait lang, ito daw ay equivalent dito, no? So, sinubstitute siya dito sa part na to. Okay? So, coming from the KSP to, ha? Ayan. So, KSP is equal to zinc 2 plus, concentration ng zinc 2 plus, times itong nire-arrange kanina. Okay? Substitute nyo lang ulit. Value ng ating KSP ay, ito pala, dito na. 7.5 times to the 9. Then, wala pa tayo ng zinc 2 plus. Zinc 2 plus pala. So, 19.324. Combine nyo lang yan. Magiging zinc 2 plus squared yan. Over 19.324. So, isolate nyo ng zinc 2 plus. Kunin nyo yung square root ng ito. 7.5 times na doon yan. So, ano yan? KSP. So, ay 19.324. Giving yung value dapat na ito. 3.8 times 10 to the negative 4. So, medyo mahaba-haba ito. Calculation. Hopefully, nasundan nyo siya kung paano siya ginawa step by step. So, ito ulit. Ito ulit yung isang problem. So, calculate the molarity of silver in a solution saturated with silver phosphate at pH 6. Calculate the low solubility ng silver phosphate at given pH. So, we have here 6 ulit na unknowns. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And ganun ulit. Same approach naman to sa ano. So, expression for KSP. And we have here so PO4, corresponding KB. And we have here, ito din for KB2, KB3. And auto ionization of water. And you have to get the hindi ba ko pala yung color mo to. No? Sige, hindi natin yung color. KB2. Okay, so hanggang 3 naman na kanina kay B1, kay B2 na. Medyo makaba-haba ito. Okay, so we have the mass balance equation. Una, equation number 1 na ito, no? Mass balance equation. Tama ba ang ginawa? Tama, hinighlight ko siya. Yellow. Since ang dami na nung KB, no? Gusto mo naman kulay. Violet na lang for ating mass balance equation. Okay. So, ito yung equation 1 natin. Mass balance equation. Oops, sama natin. So, actually, kamukha lang siya ng charge balance equation natin. No? So, tandaan nyo, at pH, at fixed pH, no? So, hindi applicable charge balance. So, ito mass balance nyo. So, pero similar din siya sa ating charge balance equation. So, equation 2 for KSPM current 3. And so, for equation 3, KB1. Okay. Equation 4 for the KB2 in red. Okay. Yan. Tapos, KB3 in orange. And KW. So, at pH 6, no? So, alam natin na yung pH ay 6. So, concentration ng H plus natin ay 1 times 10 to the negative 6. Therefore, OH natin, using yung KW expression, no? Alam natin na siya ay 10 to the 8. Okay? So, hindi madali lang yan kasi di ba may 10 to the 14 ka. So, 10 times 10 to the mali. Parang shortcut lang ito tinuturo ko sa inyo. Basta dapat total nito 14. Kasi di ba meron tayong KW 1 times 10 to the negative 14. So, total dapat lagi yun 14. Okay? So, shortcut na yun. So, yan. Rearranging equation 3 daw and taking the OH concentration, we will have ito. So, equation 3 blue. So, rearranging daw yan ay mali. Rearranging daw, we will get ito. Since may value tayo ng KB1 or tayong OH, so makuha natin to dapat. Next. Substitute daw itong nakuha natin. Ito. Nakuha natin yun dito sa equation 4. So, equation 4 is ating in red for KB2. So, ito equation 4. So, substituting lang. So, ito na naman yung kanina, no? Inulit natin dito sa part na to. Itong part na to. Sa oxalic. Itong part na to, kailangan nyo maging careful dyan, ha? So, yan ay kamukha lang dapat nito. Ito yan. So, nakamalito lang tayo. Pero yan siya. Tapos, so, ang final result niyan dapat ito. So, ang ang last natin lagi naka-express into the PO43 minus. Yung parang last dissociation part. Diba since tatlo to, so tatlong beses. So, rearranging equation 5 naman, orange. Ito yan, equation 5 natin, no? So, dapat ito yung makuha natin. So, KB1, KB2, KB3 times PO4, 3 minus over, cube ng OH. Okay? So, hindi ka na siya ilalatag katulad dito. So, sundan nyo na lang siya. Okay, substitute the derived equations now in the mass balance. So, ito na yung last step, no? Yung kanina. Yung kulay yung violet. So, yung violet dito sa ating mass balance. So, isa-substitute natin siya. Ang mangyayari dyan, ganyan. So, ito yung mga yan. So, ito. Ito yung mga yan. Ito, original yan. Tapos ito. Ito yung tatlo. So, I can erase this naman mga pansin. Erase ko lang ito mong nalad dito. Okay? Ay, yun na lang. Yan. Ayan siya. Tapos, ang dapat ang makuha yung final na sunod dyan. Ay, ito. Isolating. Then, we have for the KSP expression. Okay, diba? Ito pala, yung green. Yan, ito. KSP expression, balikan. Yan. Tapos, baligtarin lang natin. I-isolate. Actually, dapat ito yung unang conversion mo. So, ito, nare-arrange. Tapos, sinusubstitute yung value na nakuha kanina. Nakuha kanina na value ng polarity ay ito. So, ay hindi pala, sorry. Wait lang, ando ko muna. So, yan. So, arranging nyo lang yung expression kanina. Ayan. So, we have, diba, itong PO4 sa substitute dito. So, ito siya. Okay? Then, knowing yung KSP value, tapos, ito, kukombine lang ulit. So, dapat, ang makuha nyo dyan ay ito. Okay? Concentration ng silver natin. 4.25 times 10 to the negative 3. Kung gusto nyo ilatag natin to, so we have yung KSP value natin. 2.8 times 10 to the negative 18. Wait lang. 2.8 times 10 to the negative 18. Hindi ako nang naaraw. Equals AG plus to the 4th divided by, hindi na kasha, 1.17 times 10 to the 8. So, i-isolate mo si silver, no? Ang dami ka na sinulat dito. Yun nga dapat makuha nyo ito. Okay? ano yan, fourth root ng, ganun lang din ulit yung kanina. Fourth root of 2.8 times 10 to the negative 18. 1.17 times 10 to the 8. So, ito na makuha niyo. 4.25 times. Ito na. Then, from the relationship, yung kanina, yung una, yan, KSP pa din. So, KSP. Yan, ito. We can get na yung concentration ng PO4, P minus is equal to concentration ng silver divided by 3 times PO4, 3 minus. Wait lang. Masyadong nakakalitong itong part na to. Magkahiwalay ito. Okay? So, yung nakuha natin kanina, 4.25 times negative 3 divided by 3. So, more on stoichiometry lang, no? Kasi ito is to 3. No? Tama. Concentration ng PO4, 3 minus is to 3. So, dinivide lang sa 3 yung parang 3 is to 1 siya. 3 silver corresponding to 1 phosphate. So, 1 phosphate is equal to isang silver divide by 3. So, simple stoic lang siya. So, finally, makuha natin yung PO4, concentration ng PO4, 3 minus, which is yung tanong sa pangalawa, solubility daw. Which is ito. Dapat yung makuha niyong sagot. So, dalawa. Concentration ng silver tsaka solubility ng ating silver phosphate. 1.42 times 10 to the negative 3. So, same magnitude naman sila. Magkano na ang value. Okay? So, ito, I leave this to you to work on. Itong problem 37. So, ito naman, instead na pH yung constant, concentration ng constant. Concentration ng, actually, same din. Same din naman. Parang binaligtad lang. Concentration lang ng H3O+. Pero, technically, hindi nyo sa pH din naman siya. Okay? So, kaya na yung mag-practice dito. Sagutin nito. And we move on sa complex ion equilibria, no? Dito naman, instead of proton transfer, we study metal ligand binding. So, composed of metals tsaka ligands. So, complexation reaction, yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, no? Meron tayong central metal atom dito sa ating sa dito drawing natin yung structure. Then, yun, meron dyang coordinate band, syempre sa mga metallic band natin, no? Pwede natin siyang tawagin na coordinate bonding. May central metal tayo, tapos may ligand, yung nakapalibot sa ating metal ion. So, overall, tinatawag ito na complex metal, no? Or complex ion. So, aluminum in water forms a complex. Ito yung complex na, ano ba tawag natin dito? Basta yung aluminum complex to in water, no? Tapos, it can hydrolyze and produce H3O+ pa din sa process, no? Dito sa equation makikita nyo. Pag nag-hydrolyze ito, complex natin, aluminum complex natin, puproduce siya ng H3O+. Asan siya? Ito. H3O+. No? So, complexation and acid-base equilibria. Pwede mo pa rin i-connect, no? Kasi as long as meron tayo H3O+. So, in the diagram nga, si central atom natin ay, o central metal natin ay ating acceptor ng proton. Tapos si ligand, yung donor. So, ganyan yung nangyayari sa ating complex. No? Tapos, 28. Coordinate covalent bond. Dito sinasabi yung both bonding electrons come from the ligand tsaka sa ating metal, no? Metal ion, no? So, coordination number, ibig sabihin lang yan, ito yung number of coordinate bands around the metal. So, dito, di ba yan? 6, di ba? 6 kasi yung, anim yung coordination band. Coordinate band natin dito ay 6. So, coordination number natin ay 6. So, kung ilan lang yung direct na kabit sa ating metal ion or central metal. Basta yung nasa gitna. Tapos, Characteristics ng ating coordination number, usually ay even number siya, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yan. Tapos usually double the charge yung metal natin. So, tandaan nyo, ligand donates electron pair, tas metal nag-a-accept ng electron pair. So, examples nito, ito, copper 2 plus complexes and ligand substitution. So, dito papasok yung expression ng Kf, no? Formation constant natin. So, when copper combines with water, nagpo-produce siya ng copper complex, copper hydrate complex. Tapos, pag dinagdagan daw siya ng NH3, ano nangyayari sa kanya? Nag-iiba ngayon yung ating complex. Nagiging ammonia complex na siya with copper. And then, pag nag-add tayo na ethylene diamine, so ito yung ethylene diamine. So, ito ethylene diamine. Pag nag-add tayo yan, so ang role nitong ethylene diamine ay bidentate. Pag-attrap siya ng ating copper. No? Makikita nyo dito kung paano siya tinatrap dito sa part na to. And then, magpo-form siya ng chelate complex. Natawag dito na chelate complex. Ito. Chelate complex. So, this shows ligands. Yung mga ligands nagbabago-bago sa nag-start siya sa water, tapos napalitan ng ammonia, tapos nagkaroon tayo ng bidentate dito. So, nag-iiba-iba yung ligand niya. So, a ligand that forms a more stable complex can pull the metal away from from weaker ligands. So, di ba, si water, nag-water, di ba? May ligand dyan, ligand niya water. Tapos, mas malakas kasi si water. Si ammonia kay water in terms of sa pagkuha ng pag-bind sa kanya ng metal. So, napalitan siya. Tapos, ito, mas malaki. Mas malaking molecule. So, siya yung huling nag-form. So, chelates daw are complex and yun nga, mas stable siya kasi may kinalaman to sa entropy, no? Advantage, yung chelate effect. Pero babalikan na namin natin dun sa susunod. So, pagdating naman sa ligand, ayun nga, ulitin ko na ulit. Ito yung donor species with at least one lone pair na pwede niyang ibigay doon sa ating metal. So, we have two types ng ligand. We have monodentate. Yung kanina kong binanggit, no? Monodentate binds at one point. Ito yung mga monodentate na ito. We have here, tsaka ito, sa water. Tapos we have, yung susunod is polydentate. Can either be bidentate, tridentate. So, ito yung kanina ko sinabi, bidentate ligand to si ethylene diamine. Okay. So, polydentate ligands, nagpo-form siya ng ring. No? Nagpo-form ng ring with the hour. Pag yung nag-form ng ring, yun yung chelate. Tawag. So, often nag-increase yung stability. So, that's more on the concept side. So, we have here the formation constant na, or the Kf. No? It describes the formation of a complex ion from its central ion na nadaanan natin to dun natin KSP. So, part 1. Tapos, yun, it forms complex ion from the central ion and attached ligands, also called a stability constant or association constant. So, the larger the Kf value of a complex ion, mas stable siya. So, pag mababa yung Kf, ibig sabihin, yung ligand na may matataas na Kf, pwede siyang palitan, pumalit doon, no? Kasi nga, mas malakas yung value ng Kf niya. So, can also be expressed as dissociation constant or KD. So, ito naman nagko-corresponds to the inverse value of the Kf. So, ito yung part na yun, no? So, ito naman, ina-highlight dito sa KD yung instability ng ating complex ion. So, itong expression ng KF dito, no? Metal tsaka ligand, no? M is for metal, L is for ligand. Ano ba? Meron tayo metal dito, plus, lagyan natin ng L. L is yung ano, parang magnitude din ng ligand, kung ilan siya. So, we have here metal ligand complex. And N na lang, or yun nga, XY dito. So, ang KF niyan ay, yan, ML. So, X is corresponding sa kanya. Kung meron man siyang subscript or wala. Ganyan siya. Divided by concentration ng individual. So, ano ulit siya? Product, reactant. So, same lang naman dun sa ating mga nauna na constants. So, we have two descriptions or two categories. No? So, a stepwise formation constant describes the successive addition of one ligand to the metal-ligand complex. So, an overall naman, or cumulative formation constants, so beta sub I, describes the addition of ligands to the free metal ions. So, iba't iba. No? Para siyang ano, yung KA, KA1, KA1, KA2, ganyan. So, meron overall cumulative tsaka stepwise or per process. So, we have here, ito. Calculate the overall complex dissociation equilibrium constant for the copper copper complex natin. Given that stability constant beta sub 4 is 2.1 times 10 to the 13. So, balikan natin nun, KD. KF is equal to 1 over KD. So, pag i-isolate natin sa KD, yan siya, 1 over, ito na pala sa baba na. So, we have 1 over beta sub 4. Beta sub 4 is yung ating, yun nga, yung stability constant natin. So, we will have a value of 4.76 times 10 to the negative 14. Ayun lang siya. Overall, tama no, beta is the overall cumulative formation constant. Okay. So, ganyan lang siya. Basically, hindi yung KF eh. Pero yun kasi naka-focus to sa stability. Overall stability constant. Next, calculate the concentration of silver ion in a solution that initially is 0.1 molar with respect to ating silver ammonia complex with a KF value of 1.6 times 10 to the 7. So we have here formation ng ating silver ammonia complex. So we have your silver plus ammonia plus yung complex natin. Parang nabigay ko na ito dati. No? Anyway, so gamit tayo ng ice table ulit. Sort of ice table. Mali kasi yung iba kasi nakalagay. So initial change sa equilibrium. So initially we have 0, 0, tapos 0.10 molars ng ating ammonia complex. Kasi in equilibrium, alam natin na based sa ating stoichiometry, kung nadagdagan siya ng x, plus x, tapos plus 2x, plus minus x. Yung changes na mangyayari. Then we have here silver, which is x plus 2x. So, i-add lang natin itong part na ito. No? Then, 2x plus ito, 0.10 minus x. So, okay, sulat natin yung KF, ito. So, product over reactant. So, huwag nyo kakalimutan yung ito, stoichiometry. Mga subscript nila. Then, substitute lang natin yung value ng KF. Tapos yung ating sa ice table. Nakuha natin sa ice table. Ito, tsaka ito. Tapos sabi dito, assume x is less than 0.1. So, parang mani-neglect na tong part na to. Okay? So, susundan natin ulit yung paano nangyari to. So, punta na tayo dito. 1.6 times 10 to the 7. 0.10 over 2x squared daw. So, magiging 4x squared times x. So, 4x cubed. Tama. Kaya siya naging ganito. So, isolate x. Hindi, sige, sulat ko muna dito. 4x cubed times 1.6 equals 0.10. So, lipat-lipat lang. Divide by 4. Tapos kunin yung cube root. Ito yun. So, ang overall value ng x ay 1.2 times 10 to the negative 3, which corresponds sa ating silver ions. Concentration ng ating silver ions. Ayos. Next. So, ibig sabihin niya, yung free silver natin is only about 0.0012 molars, no? Because karamihan nun, mababa siya, no? To the negative 2. Karamihan kasi nun, from the 0.1, nag-form na nung complex natin. Okay? So, tama yung assumption natin na less than 0.1 yung x natin, which is silver ion natin. Okay. So, ito, mixing. Silver ion forms a stable 1:1 complex with triethylene tetramine called Trian. So, yun yung formula niya. Calculate the silver ion concentration at equilibrium when 25 ml of 0.1 molar silver nitrate is added to 50 ml of 0.015 molar Trian. So, ito yung equation. So, Trian na lang yung nilagay kasi nahaba ng formula. So, we have the value for the Kf. Then, calculate lang natin yung millimoles ng silver ions natin, no? So, we have here, kasi naka-ml, kaya naka-millimole. Pwede naman i-moles, pero convert nyo ng liters yung mga volume. So, direct lang yan, 25 times 0.01 molars. Then, we will get 0.25 millimole. Then, for the Trian, we have here, then we will get 0.75 millimoles. So, ice stable ulit. So, dito naman, given natin yung mga reactants natin, no? So, we have initial concentrations. So, 0 muna si Trian kasi nga yung hinahanap natin. Then, at equilibrium, makakonsume yung ating silver ions. Tapos, madadagdag kay sa product natin. Then, yung change, 0 na si silver. Mabawasan si Trian. Then, madadagdagan si ating complex. Going forward, pwede natin siyang gawin ganito. Tama ba? Yeah. So, ito yung silk. Ito ang ice table, no? So, ito yung kanina. So, this is in terms of moles, amount ng solute natin. Then, ito na yung sa ice table talaga na for the concentration. So, we have here yung dissociation ng ating complex into individual, no? So, we have 0.25. So, balik lang ulit dito sa part na to. Ganito ulit. So, 0.25 initial ng ating complex, tas 0 yung sa ating silver ions tsaka sa Trian. Then, changes, wala na si complex, nalagdag kay silver ion tsaka kay Trian. Then, kunin lang ulit yung sum niyan. So, we have 0.25 minus x sa ating silver Trian complex, plus x sa ating silver, then 0.5 plus x sa ating Trian. Then, substituting sa ating Kf formation constant equation. Yan. So, we will have ito. So, ang total volume natin ay total volume 75. So, nakuha yun. 75 ml is from 25 ml dito tsaka 50 ml. Kaya 75. So, dito yun. No? Okay. So, we have here Kf. Tapos, ito yung 0.25 minus x over nilagay, divided by 9 total volume na. Actually, napansin ko naman. Tapos, expression for this ito. So, we have silver X, tapos yung trend natin is ito, 0.50 millimoles over 75 ml plus X. So, we assume na yung X ay less than sa concentration ng ating silver ions. Then, manineglect na si 2 minus X tsaka plus X. So, rearranging overall, dapat ang makuha nyo sagot ay ito, 9.8 times 10 to the negative 9. Kung gusto natin ilatag to, sige, ilatag natin. So, isolate na lang natin. Sige, 5.0 times 10 to the 7 over 0.25 over 75 divided by X. 0.50 over, actually 75 cancel na. Okay, cancel pa na lang. Tapos, X, 0.50x times 5.0 times 10 to the 9 equals 0.25. So, isolate mo lang yung X. 0.25 divided by 0.50 times 5.0 times 10 to the 7. So, dapat ito yung makuha. 9.8 times 10 to the negative 9. Okay, so yan na ang ating yun ang conclusion ng chemical equilibrium, no? Until sa formation constant. Then, after this, I think I have to check sa syllabus kung anong next natin. I think gravimetry na yung next. Okay.